Coming your way, new laws by the dozens for Oklahoma, Norman's playbook for game day garbage, and the Day of the Dead in OKC. This is OU Night. They're often accused of not getting much done, but Oklahoma lawmakers passed hundreds of bills this last year, and yesterday, many of them became law.
That's right. Most everyone already knows that texting and driving is now illegal. Drivers caught using their phones behind the wheel could be fined $100. But that's just one of more than 250 laws that went into effect yesterday. 2 of those laws will give you the option of registering to vote and renewing your license online. People convicted of misdemeanor drug offenses are now allowed to apply for gun licenses. In addition, doctors are now required to check a database to see if patients are trying to get prescription drugs illegally. And finally, one measure that might make Oklahoma the first state to use nitrogen gas to execute inmates.
And 2 new toll roads are on the drawing board that will make it easier to get around the Oklahoma City Metro. The 21-mile Northeast Oklahoma County Loop will link I-40 and the Turner Turnpike. The 7-mile Southwest Kilpatrick extension will link I-40 with Airport Road. The state also plans major reconstruction for 4 turnpikes: the Turner, the H.E. Bailey, Gilcrease Expressway, and the Muskogee Turnpike. The work will take more than 3 years and cost nearly $900 million. Drivers will pay back the construction bonds through increased tolls.
An OU's decision to close some parking lots for construction is sending students scrambling for an alternative way to campus. OU Nightly's Anna Whitney shows us how a simple alternative has turned into a headache for local apartment complexes.
Usually police lights indicate trouble, but this officer is just looking for information. Last week, OU PD officer Shane Roddy stopped apartment shuttles dropping students off at and near the Duck Pond parking lot.
We're just trying to document like what times they come here and for how long so that we can find a better place for them to park.
Last January, OU officials told Norman apartment complexes their private shuttles could no longer drop students off or pick them up at the Duck Pond parking lot.
Instead, the apartment shuttles have to drop their students off here at Lloyd Noble Center, where they will then get on a public cart bus to the main campus. Many students find this transfer to be a hassle to themselves as well as the apartment complexes.
We are aware that the apartment shuttles don't particularly care for dropping off at the Lloyd Noble.
This semester, some apartment shuttles began to use the Duck Pond as their bus stop again, even though no apparent go-ahead had been given from OU parking services.
If they are dropping off in the parking lot, they shouldn't be. That was the rule last year, and that continues to be the rule this year.
Since Officer Roddy checked on the buses, Norman apartment shuttles were told by the university to drop off and pick up students at the Lloyd Noble Center and no longer take them to the Duck Pond. Anna Whitney, OU Nightly.
OU Parking Services has asked the city of Norman if any of the streets around the Duck Pond can be widened to accommodate the apartment shuttles. Holland doubts any changes will be made.
OU Nightly's Annie Durbin joins us now in the news center with the latest on the Russian jet crash. Annie?
Well, Tyler, Russian officials announced today that it is too early to know what caused a passenger jet to crash. A Russian flight broke into pieces before it hit the ground in a remote area of Egypt on Saturday. The flight killed all 224 people on board, 25 of them were children. The plane's flight and voice data recorders have been recovered but not yet read. The Nazi-era Tempelhof Airport has a new addition. They are sheltering Syrian refugees as Germany struggles to house the biggest influx of migrants since World War II. Hundreds of people are expected to move into emergency housing today. About 1,000 refugees will be housed in the coming weeks. And the U.S. Navy confirmed today that they have identified the cargo ship El Faro. The search team used sonar over the weekend to find wreckage of the ship in about 15,000 feet of water. If the discovery is confirmed, it could help bring closure to the families of the 33 people who are presumed dead. The ship disappeared on October 1st en route from Florida to Puerto Rico. That's what's happening around the world. Now back to the OU Nightly News Desk.
Thank you so much, Annie.
And it was an absolutely beautiful day yesterday. I was outside most of the day and it was just breathtaking.
It really was. I mean, I was driving back from Lawrence, Kansas and saw all of the beauty that had to be out there. But also, you know, we woke up this morning, here was so much fog. Joe, are we going to see more fog coming up?
Yeah, guys, I am actually watching some fog redeveloping later on in the work week. But as we take a look at the temperatures out there right now, we're seeing them in the 60s and 70s across Oklahoma. So overall, it warmed up nicely after that fog has burned off. But those winds are going to be the big story here. They are out of the south, from the south around 5 to 10 miles per hour out there. So again, due to those winds tonight, we're going to see about a lesser chance for very dense fog like we saw this morning due to those winds at the surface. Now, as we take a look, though, at your headlines, we're going to see some warmer temperatures coming in here for the rest of your work week before our next storm system coming in here for Thursday night into Friday time frame. And I'll have a look at your football forecast when we return. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Joe. A dispute between Yale University and a man who claimed ownership of a Vincent van Gogh's painting, The Night Cafe, ends favorably for Yale. Pierre Konovalov claimed the painting was stolen from his family during the Russian Revolution. The U.S. Second Circuit Court of Appeals dismissed the claim. OU is locked in a similar fight over art stolen by the Nazis during World War II.
The Fred Jones Jr. Museum of Art currently has 40 paintings listed on the Nazi-era Provenance Internet portal, which tracks paintings that changed hands in the continental Europe during the Nazi era. OU's Undergraduate Congress recently passed a bill that ensures the museum does more in-depth research on the history of the ownership of the artwork, a process called provenance research. And if the artwork are found to be from the Nazi era, OU's Holocaust advocacy group says it will fight to return them to the original artists or reinstate them to their prior location. And still ahead on OU Nightly, Halloween gets back to its roots in Oklahoma City's Plaza District.
Plus, helping the environment after the big game. Straight ahead on OU Nightly. Halloween is best known as a holiday with costumes and candy. But in the Mexican culture, this is the time of year for Dia de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead. That's when people remember and pray for their lost loved ones, as I found out over the weekend in Oklahoma City's Plaza District.
It is the Day of the Dead Festival, or Dia de los Muertos. And she is a fantastic representation of the traditional wear of the Catrina makeup.
The Day of the Dead Festival has a long history in Mexican culture. This year, the public was encouraged to dress up as La Calavera Catrinas and Catrins. Oklahoma festival goers wanted to set a record.
And they're actually trying to get more people than have appeared in Mexico in the sugar skull makeup. And they encouraged everyone to do that. So
like
we
500, over 500 people, I think, in Mexico that set a world record.
Families displayed ofrendas, a collection of items placed on a ritual altar to honor loved ones. Erica Reyes and her family dedicated their ofrendo to the late Shannon Calderon Primo. Primo was the owner of Everything Goes Dance Studio.
It's believed that they are extremely close in spirit with us today, on this day. And in Mexico right now, everything you see would be on their gravesite. So it's not ideal that you would see it on a sidewalk, but for today, we wanted to showcase that.
Reyes took over Everything Goes Dance Studio after Primo died, and she continues to teach traditional Mexican dancing.
And Jennifer Sellers is here now with today's Earth Report. And Jennifer, I hear there's some unfortunate news in the Middle East.
That's right, Tyler. A new report says areas of the Persian Gulf could be uninhabitable by the year 2100. Based on several climate models, researchers predict summer heat indexes could get as high as 170 degrees in some areas, and daily temperatures likely around 140. Scientists say pollution would be to blame. The region could be hit hard due to high poverty levels in the area. And the EPA is expanding its investigation into the Volkswagen emission cheating scandal. The agency says SUV models of the Porsche and Audi are now also being looked at. In September, Volkswagen admitted to being dishonest about pollution tests on 11 million cars around the world. And college football is a way of life for many people around Norman, but most people don't realize what's left over after the game ends. I found a group here on campus whose goal on game day is helping the environment. People come for the touchdowns and the tailgates, but at the end of the day, they leave something behind. A whole lot of trash. more than 55,000 pounds of it. The Student Environmental Council is trying to make game days a little greener, while also stirring up some competition off the field. Every home game, group members pass out blue bags to tailgaters that can be filled with plastic, aluminum, and paper, and then left behind for the OU Recycling Center to pick up.
Many years ago, I said to my husband, I would love to see an organization passing out, even just to collect the aluminum and to use it as fundraising. And I think that people are a lot more likely to recycle if it's readily available.
The effort is part of a nationwide contest with more than 90 colleges to see which school can collect the most recyclables. And while some are participating for environmental reasons, some are just maintaining their OU pride.
We would go out and some of the tailgaters are like, no, we don't really recycle, and we're competing against other Big 12 schools. And they're like, oh, I'll take 2.
But OU isn't doing so great. Last year, we finished behind Texas and Kansas State. The Game Day Challenge ranks schools according to their diversion rate, which means the amount of material that is left out of the trash and goes into recycling instead. But so far, OU hasn't even reached 20%. However, this is only OU's second year to participate, and tailgaters are becoming more familiar with the program.
There's actually a lot of tailgaters that were like, we're wondering when you guys are going to come, and so they start recognizing us. And we still have quite a few that don't recycle and aren't interested, but there's actually quite a few who are.
After the recycled material is sorted, it is sold, and that money is put back into funding the OU Recycling Center. Group leaders say as more people become aware of the competition, the better the chance for success, both in getting those bragging rights and working towards a cleaner environment. And this year's results will be announced in December. For more information on how to get involved, visit gamedaychallenge.org. So you guys, it's crazy how easy it is to recycle, and it's just, especially with those bags, it's something we all should really try to do.
Absolutely. I'm glad that we're participating in this and trying to get out there. So thank you so much, Jennifer.
Thank you. And still ahead on OU Nightly, kick back, relax, and get fined? Some interesting citations at OU.
And Joe Puma is standing by with the weather.
That's right, guys. As we take a look outside, we are going to see beautiful sunny skies out there. Look at that beautiful shot of our library. I'm going to have the forecast for this work week when our next round of rain moves in here when we return. I'm Joe Puma. Welcome back to OU Nightly. As we take a look at what's going on out there right now, we see overall conditions are pretty warm out there, an area of high pressure over us. That's giving us those clear skies. But as we head into the evening tonight, that's when we're going to see those temperatures drop. And with those temperatures, the dew point temperature will be essentially the same around the 7 a.m. time frame tomorrow. That's going to allow some fog to develop. However, those winds will help keep that at bay. So nothing like what we saw this morning. We might see a few areas of patchy dense fog in low-lying areas, but overall not too bad. The next big story to talk about is the cold front that's going to move through here on Thursday night into Friday timeframe, and that's going to bring with it a chance for rain. The good news is, though, we do dry out as we head towards the weekend, so football weather is looking great. We're going to drop back into the 50s by Sunday next week, so overall looking like it's going to be a great week besides the rain chances on Thursday night into Friday. Now for tonight, though, we're looking at those temperatures in the 50s, 54 degrees in Norman and Oklahoma City, 55 in Ardmore, and 51 in Elk City there. And for your highs tomorrow, though, we're looking at those in the 70s, 76 degrees in Oklahoma City, 75 in Norman, 77 in Lawton. So overall, temperatures are going to be well above average for this time of year. Can't believe it's November already, but we're still seeing those temperatures in the middle to upper 70s across the area. Now, for your 7-day forecast, we're looking at temperatures in the 75 for your Tuesday, increasing in clouds on Wednesday as that cold front approaches us, 69 for your Thursday, and look at that, temperatures continue to drop back, 59 by Saturday and 60 by your Sunday time frame. So overall, guys, again, we are watching that chance for rain on your Thursday, but the weekend is looking great. It's going to be a great time for those parents who are coming to town. I know it's Dad's weekend this weekend here at OU, so weather's going to be absolutely fantastic for them.
Really looking forward to it, Joe. Thank you so much for that.
Absolutely.
Thank you. And now we have Hunter McKee joining us with a look at sports. Hunter?
Thanks, Ashley. Kansas sports fans are conflicted. The Sooners routed their Jayhawks, but the Kansas City Royals are world champions. That's next in sports. Well, welcome back. The Sooner football team beat up on an 0-8 Kansas squad that never really stood a chance. OU scored 38 in the first half and never looked back, beating up on KU for the 11th straight year. We'll start in the first quarter with Baker Mayfield dropping back and finding a wide-open Joe Mixon down the middle, 68 yards for the Sooners' first score. And then a special moment right here with Trevor Knight at quarterback, finding his twin brother Connor for the 17-yard score. That's Connor's first touchdown of his OU career. Sooners win big 62-7. That's 2 straight games scoring over 60.
Trusting the system, knowing that we just need to do our job, and we're executing right now. It's because we're focusing on our job and our job only. It doesn't matter what the defense is coming out and doing. It doesn't matter who we're playing. If we go do our job, we're going to execute, and so that's what we've been focusing on.
And defensive end Charles Tapper was named a Big 12 Co-Defensive Player of the Week after his performance on Saturday. He had 2 sacks and 2 forced fumbles, disrupting quarterback Ryan Willis really all day long. For even more OU football news, be sure to check out Sooner Sports Pad this week. Here's Haley Huey with a preview.
Thank you, Hunter. We have a packed show for you this week. Mason Prince goes one-on-one with OU quarterback Baker Mayfield. I'll have a feature story on gymnast Molly Caneva, and hoop stars Buddy Hield and Isaiah Cousins join us in studio. If you want to catch us live tonight, tune in on Fox College Sports Central. We'll be on Fox Sports Oklahoma at 10:30. And of course, you can see the show right here on OU TV all week, beginning tomorrow right after this newscast. But for now, let's go back to the sportscast. Hunter?
Thanks, Haley. Baseball is officially over. The Kansas City Royals are your world champions after knocking off the Mets in 5 games. In the top of the 9th, Kansas City was down 2-0 and scored 2 runs to tie the game and send it into extra innings. But in the 12th, the Royals broke it open, scoring 5 runs, winning 7-2. This is Kansas City's 2nd World Series title in franchise history, their first in 30 years. And we go from winning to losing as the Dallas Cowboys lost to the Seattle Seahawks yesterday, dropping their 5th straight game. Late in the 4th quarter, 3rd and 7, Cowboys up 2. Russell Wilson escapes pressure for a big first down. But then right here, Seahawks kicker Steven Hauschka hits 24-yard field goal to go up 1. And on 4th and long, Matt Castle heaves a prayer that will not be completed. Seattle wins 13-12. And a lot of scoring in New Orleans between the Saints and the New York Giants, with 101 total points, making it the highest scoring game in the NFL this year. Drew Brees with 7 touchdowns and Eli Manning with 6. But it all came down to a Kai Forbath field goal as time expired. The Saints prevail 52-49. And just one of the craziest plays in college football history that shouldn't have even counted. Miami has one last play against Duke as they lateral the ball 8 times. But right here, one of the guys' knees is down and the refs didn't call it. The ACC suspended the officials after the game for their mistakes, but it still goes down as a win for the Hurricanes. So can you believe that after all that, shouldn't have counted, Miami wins? I mean,
it's a crazy finish. It really was. And the fact that they suspended the refs, I think, was the best call there.
Right, especially when, it showed basically that it should have counted like that.
Right.
They should not have won.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Anna.
Thank you. And coming up on OU Nightly, what happens when you kick back in the biz? Straight ahead on OU Nightly.
I'm Allie Stratton at the OU Nightly Update Desk. Theories are changing as to what brought down the Russian jetliner on Saturday. Airline officials have ruled out any maintenance issues or human error. Military analysts are blaming a certain impact for the crash. ISIS has claimed responsibility, but intelligence officials say there is no evidence of terrorism. And more breaking news, the state Supreme Court has ordered that construction work may continue on the expansion of OU's football stadium. That's it for now. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Allie. OU's Bizzell Library is a lot of things to a lot of people. For some, it's a place for serious academic investigation. For others, it's a place to find a good read for a long weekend. But for students who use the library as a place to put up their feet and rest, watch out. OU Nightly has learned that last month, library security cited 2 students for the misuse of property at the Biz. They propped up their feet on the tables. The citations state that the guard twice warned the students before citing them. The citations have been overturned and fines have been withdrawn, but maybe you'll think twice before kicking back at the Biz. Just crazy citations, but
a little different.
I'd say it's warranted.
I mean, you can't damage those wooden tables.
Absolutely.
So.
No, I mean, but that's my home away from home, guys. Besides the Weather Center, it's either the Weather Center or at the Biz, so I can understand that.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Speaking of weather, what do we have in store for this evening?
For this evening, we're looking at overall nice conditions. Temperatures should be in the 50s or 60s and dropping back into the 50s by the afternoon. But clear skies, winds are light. It should be a beautiful fall night tonight. 59 by 10 p.m. So overall, not too bad, guys.
All right. Thanks, Joe.
Thank you so much, Joe.
Absolutely.
And thanks for watching OU Nightly, brought to you by the Gaylord College at the University of Oklahoma.
We'll see you back here tomorrow night live at 4:30.
Have a great evening.
Good night.